This is ShadowQuant Stocks, brought to you by AresLabs.ai. Before we begin, please note, what you are about to hear is an AI agent panel. All analysis, voices, and production are generated by artificial intelligence. Nothing you hear constitutes financial advice. Always do your own research. Today is Friday, April 17, 2026, and this is the After Hours session. Now, let's get into it. Bitcoin just broke below $65,000 for the first time in 2 weeks, and the Fear and Greed Index is at 14. Is this panic selling or a buying opportunity? Let's find out. Let's start with the recap. Pulse, you had no calls last episode. Grid, same. CIPHER, no calls. SPECTER, no calls. Apex, no calls. Let's move to the market overview. The S&P 500 ETF, SPY, is at $701.66, up 0.25%. The Nasdaq QQQ is at $640.47, up 0.48%. The Dow Diamonds is at $485.63, up 0.19%. The Russell 2000, IWM, is at $269.95, up 0.21%. In sectors, the technology sector is up 1.14%, the energy sector is up 1.47%, and the utilities sector is up 0.72%. On the flip side, the financial sector is down 0.27%, the healthcare sector is down 0.79%, and consumer staples is up 0.46%. The market is showing a mix of strength and weakness. Let's dive into the analysis. Let's start with the top story driving the market: sector rotation. Pulse, how is the crowd reacting to this? The sentiment is mixed. The technology sector, tracked by the technology sector, is leading the charge with a 1.14% gain today. That's a strong signal of risk-on behavior. But there's some underperformance in healthcare and consumer staples, which are lagging. The Fear and Greed Index is at 37.7, still in extreme fear territory. So the market is cautiously optimistic, but there's still a lot of caution out there. Grid, what does the technical chart say about this rotation?
The technology sector is forming a bullish pattern here. The 50-day moving average is holding and we're seeing volume confirmation. The key support level is at $151.50. If that holds, the next target is $156.50. The sector is clearly in a rotation and the chart supports that.
CIPHER, what's the flow data saying about this?
The COT data is bullish for the technology sector. Smart money is positioning for a longer-term move here. We're seeing institutional buying in the technology sector, which is a strong indicator. This isn't just a short-term bounce, it's a sign of broader confidence.
SPECTER, what's the risk here?
I'm not convinced it's a long-term bullish move. The VIX is still at 18.2, which is relatively high. And the yield curve is normal, but the credit spreads are widening. That could be a warning sign. The sector rotation might be more about short-term positioning than a fundamental shift.
Apex, tie this together for us.
Pulse sentiment data shows cautious optimism, grid technicals suggest a bullish pattern, and CIPHER flows confirm that. But SPECTER raises a valid point about the risk factors. It's a mixed picture, but the technical and flow data are pointing toward a positive outlook for the technology sector.
Let's move to the energy sector, Pulse, what's the sentiment here?
The energy sector is also seeing positive momentum. The sector is up 1.47% today. The sentiment is more positive than it's been in a while, but still cautious. The Fear Index is at 37.7, which suggests the market is still wary of a pullback.
Grid, what's the technical picture for the energy sector?
The energy sector is breaking out of a consolidation pattern. The key resistance is at $56.58. If that holds, the next target is $58.50. The volume is also picking up, which is a good sign. The energy sector is showing strength and the chart is supporting that.
CIPHER, what's the institutional positioning saying about the energy sector?
The COT data is bullish here as well. Smart money is buying into the energy sector, and that's a sign of confidence. We're seeing a lot of institutional buying in the sector, which is a positive indicator for the longer term.
SPECTER, what's the risk here?
I'm still wary. The VIX is at 18.2, which is relatively high, and the yield curve is normal, but the credit spreads are widening. That's a sign of increasing risk. The sector's rally might be more of a short-term move than a long-term trend.
Apex, what's the overall outlook for the energy sector?
The technicals and flow data are bullish, but the risk factors are still present. It's a mixed picture, but the signs are more positive than negative. I'd say the energy sector is in a better position than the broader market, but not without risks.
SPECTER, you pushed back on grid read on the technology sector. Let's dig into that.
Grid, you said the technology sector holds the 50-day, but the volume data CIPHER just shared shows that the buying is thin. It's not a strong breakout, it's more of a bounce.
I agree with the volume concern, SPECTER, but the price action is still bullish. We're seeing higher highs and higher lows, and that's a strong signal. The support level is holding, which is a good sign.
I think the volume is a valid concern, but the institutional positioning is still positive. The smart money is buying, so I'm inclined to agree with Grid.
I'll stay cautious. The market is still in a risk-on mode, but the underlying fundamentals are not as strong as they could be. I think this is more of a short-term rally than a long-term trend.
My 24-hour call. The technology sector bullish. Target $154.50 by next session.
My 24-hour call, the technology sector bullish, target $156.50 by next session.
My 24-hour call, the technology sector bullish, target $157 by next session.
My 24-hour call, the technology sector neutral, target $153 by next session.
My 24-hour call, the technology sector bullish, target $155 by next session.
My weekly call. The technology sector bullish. Target $158 by Friday.
My weekly call, the technology sector bullish, target $160 by Friday.
My weekly call, the technology sector bullish, target $162 by Friday.
My weekly call, the technology sector neutral, target $154 by Friday.
My weekly call, the technology sector bullish, target $157 by Friday.
If you're finding value in this analysis, support the project at Patreon. com/ShadowQuant. Patrons get early access to every episode, weekly AI analyst scorecards, and daily intelligence briefs. And if you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube, hit that follow button and leave a rating. It helps more traders discover the show. We appreciate you. This content is generated by artificial intelligence and is for informational and entertainment purposes only. It does not constitute financial advice. Equity markets involve risk, and past performance does not guarantee future results. Always do your own research before making any investment decisions. That wraps up this edition of ShadowQuant Equities. Stay tuned for the Tokyo session, where we will see how these calls play out. Until then, trade safe.